Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it out tonight. We're gonna let it out tonight. We're gonna let it out just like the sunrise. We're gonna let it out now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it out tonight. We're gonna let it out tonight. We're gonna let it out just like the sunrise. We're gonna let it out now.
Hey everybody, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I am streaming to YouTube through my camera, TikTok through my phone, and we're on Twitter as well. So we're everywhere tonight, guys. We're everywhere. We are always usually everywhere, but really everywhere tonight. I was just hitting the buttons. I was like, sure, we'll go there and we'll go there. So if anybody wants to listen in, they can. We do have some stuff going on. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tonight. So welcome in, everybody. See that we got some lots in here. I see the blue. See the blue. Hey, Ladybug. How are you doing? I changed it. Well, I had it at 9:30. Did I have it at 9:15? I thought I had it at 9:35. I might change the time. You know me. Hey, Per Anderson. I hope I said that right. I think I did. Sweet. Swedish, Norwegian. Ooh. German. Yeah. I like it. I like that. What time is it where you're from? I love knowing that. I don't know why. I just do. Some people are like in the future, and it's weird. That's weird to me. I'm like, how are you in the future? And we're not. Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll go without time zones sometime. Hey, Groovy Nikki. How you doing? Hey, Dawn. Welcome in. Hey, baby girl. I say hi to Cuppy. Hey, Cuppy. Hey, Maggie. Hey, Catherine. Welcome in, Willows. It's good to see everybody. If you missed the live, I did a live over earlier on the second channel. If you guys aren't if you're not over there, then what are you doing? And if you're not over on YouTube, if you're over here on Twitter listening and you're on TikTok, get over there to YouTube because that's where I usually stream from. But I'm trying to do more with TikTok as well. I actually did a TikTok earlier. So I don't I don't know. This is like mean because I'm not trying to be mean when I say it. Hey, Legal Lacey. But I've noticed that multiple women now. I've noticed it. Just noticed it. Didn't notice it when I was younger. But I've noticed that multiple women have lost like a significant amount of weight, and when they have, their voice changes. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know why it changes because I don't think your voice box gets any smaller when you lose weight. But I have like 2 people that I know of personally, and I saw a third one on the TikTok, and I'm like, your voice changed. It used to be different. Hey, Ishi. Hey, Dion. Welcome in. Okay, I'll get to Nikki. Hey, Courtney. We're going to read some of the book tonight, and we're going to go over some documents that I have for you. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Princess. Your name is not Evangelina. Is that your name? There's no way. There's no way on this God's green earth that I know another Evangelina. I thought that name was only reserved to one person and one person only. So let me know if that's how you say it. Because if it is, I'm going to be so surprised. Like I might have to take a picture of your name, like no lie. Like not like that. I would never dox you or anything. My niece's name's Evangelina. And when they named her that, I was like, where did you find that name? And they took it from my sister-in-law's like middle name and something else. But so that's why I'm like, what? Hey, Jenna. Hey, Dexter D. And if I miss you, I'm sorry. Hey, Pete. Hey, Flip Chick. Hey, hey, hey. There's me dancing on into the music. We got a new song on the other channel too. Vincent didn't give me his opinion actually. I told him we listened to it earlier and he didn't give me his opinion. I think he liked it. He just breathed. Hey, Cynthia. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you wrote that. We went over that. I think it was yesterday. I think, or it's been a couple of days actually, because it's when they got their they actually succeeded in getting an actual court date for the 17th, and I was surprised. I was like, why are these news organizations like coming up now? You know, I was like, we're gonna get it on the 24th. It'll be okay, but they want it now, and I can understand that. And if they have the power and the ability, shoot, I put my FOIA request in. I don't even know if they said anything. Really? That's so weird. Only from your laptop? I don't know. That is weird. Because I can do it from my iPad. Hey, Lurker. I love that name. You have the best name on YouTube. Really? Maybe I need to put some. I'll write it down. iPhone won't membership. I put. Welcome in. My voice sounds different. Wait. Okay, I'm on the wrong mic. Am I better? I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, the sound is weird. Thank you. It's because I need to start going I'm gonna start going from the bottom to the top when we when we do the lives, because then I don't know until I get to the bottom. I'm so sorry. We did a live earlier today and I was back there in the chair. And so when I do that, I have to reset the settings. That was me. I'm so sorry about that, guys. You're like, you sound different. What does the gag have to do with this sentence? It sounds like you're in a tunnel, Tanya. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you guys all stayed. Thank you for staying. Hey, Cherie. I'm so sorry. Oh, you guys got me now. Oh, even baby girl. Oh, she even super chatted. Baby girl, thank you. David, I don't. Do you think I should get me an OnlyFans? I don't think my boyfriend would like that. Actually, he might, because more money. But I don't think anyone wants to look at this. So, no, David. Do you have one? If you have one, let me know. I mean, shoot, I Really? Evangelina can too. I love it. Do you go by Lena or do you go by Evangelina? My niece goes by Lena. We shortened it. We shortened that crap real quick. We shortened all their names. Their names are all like long. I'm like, what y'all doing? I love that name. That's a really pretty name. It's a really pretty name. Is she reading the same time? Jeremy, I think I am. Sorry, Pizza, turn on your mic, Tanya. It's because I was back here. All things is I was talking through my laptop back there. That's why you guys couldn't hear me. And I wasn't talking loud because, I'm just trying. I don't want to blow your ears out like I did last night. Oh my gosh, look at me. My sound 2 nights in a row. I am so sorry. I'm going to get my crap together. I'll write a note to make sure that I remember. We are on chapter 10, I believe. No, I wasn't making a joke. I was making a joke. I don't think anyone wants to look at this. Oh, but I do. Oh, well, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment, You'll take it. You'll take anything whenever someone calls you ma'am. Someone called me, I think they called me ma'am today. I'm not sure. And then I got in the car and I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, ma'am, I'm a ma'am. Could be. Named after my grandmother, since her nickname was Vange. Mine is Eva. Oh, I love that. That's so crazy that yours is a family name too. Because I'm just real quick story. My sister-in-law, they let you stay for a couple of days in the hospital. At this time, they let you stay for like 2 days or something. This was like 15 years ago. And they couldn't think of a name. Like, they're running out. Shoot, at this point, that was their 4th kid. They're running out of names to choose from. And so it was like a last minute name. Like, it wasn't like something that she didn't like. It wasn't nothing like that. But it was just the last minute. Like, I was trying to give her names. I was naming off presidents. I named off like 5 presidents. She was like, get out of here. Get her out of here. But no, so she ended up naming her Evangelina. No, that's why I was like, wow. So did I read to 15? Okay, thank you. I was going to ask you guys. Okay, because when I opened up the book, I need to fix the thumbnail again. I just fixed it earlier. But when I looked in the book that we have online, because we have the hard copy here, and then I bought the one online that you can just read from, so everybody could read with it if you guys want to. Plus, the writing's bigger for me. It helps me with my vision. And what was I going to freaking say? Oh yeah, I thought we read more than what we did because it said the book was like 15. I was like, what? So I was going to ask you guys. So I'm glad you said that. So I did read a little bit more. Okay, cool. I got to change the thumbnail. Well, I changed it once today. We'll change it twice. Isn't Evangelina so pretty? We're like loving your name in here. I do love that name. It is very pretty. They took all the good names. My sister and my brother-in-law did. Or my brother and my sister-in-law did. That'd be weird if that was the other way around. Okay, let's go to the documents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I was just making sure that I had them all of them up here. And then I will give you guys also a chapter by chapter kind of rundown of what happens in the book. That way you're caught up with us. So hold on one second. I just gotta redo that. Okay. Let me pull this up. And thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, will you take a quick second, just hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I promise I don't have, sounds problems all the time, just most of the time. Sometimes I'm muted. Most of the time I'm muted. I'm just kidding. I'm usually not that bad. So we have a few new documents up here that they put out. I don't know, things that make you go, these have nothing to do with his sentencing. So basically the first document that came out was this one here. And it's just that's pretty big. It's the motion to seal exhibit state 1. And it's the state's response to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. And it says, comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County prosecuting attorney. He probably doesn't even want to do this, because he didn't want to do anything else. So, and hereby moves the court pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 and Idaho Code 74-1 124B for an order sealing exhibit State 1 attached to the state's response to defendant's 24 supplemental request for discovery. The motion is made on the grounds that the substance of Exhibit 1 contains information that would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy for the named individual that is the subject of each discovery request. So I don't know who they're requesting, like what they're requesting exactly, but it looks like the defense is requesting more discovery. I don't know if, Anne should have received everything. And that's just the end of that. She should have already received it all. Like, she should have already had her, like, all the discovery so she could build her case for trial. So I don't know what they're missing or what she's missing, but I'm wondering if she's like wanting to get all the evidence just to see what it is, right? Like, just to see what it is. But she has all of it. As far as I knew, she had all of it. Hello, we're about to go to trial. So then comes, this is the same one. Did I do this twice? Hold on, let me see this. No, it just looks like it. It just looks the same. That's all. It just looks the same. And it says state's response. So this is the state's response to the defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. He writes it out to defend the defendant, Bryan Christopher Kohberger, and counsel Ann Taylor. Comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County prosecuting attorney and submits Exhibit S1 filed in response to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery filed on June 25th, 2025. The defendant has entered admissions of guilt and is set for sentencing for July 23rd, 2025. However, in accordance with Idaho Criminal Rule 16, the state has a continuing obligation to provide discovery. What did they not provide? I'm really concerned now. Like, just when you think this case couldn't get any weirder, it gets a little freaking weirder, right? It's weird to me. That's weird that they're asking for discovery and they're like, yeah, we'll give you the discovery. So I don't know if there was a due date for this. And I'm going to check the docket part or the current case summary. Maybe there was just a date that they were supposed to give like something to her. Because I always thought the state's S1 was like the exhibit 1. I thought it was the house exhibit, like the dollhouse, as she called it. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Let's say 7/4. What is today? The 15th. I thought that was wrong. So 7/14, there's an order. Okay. Motion to be heard as interested parties, a motion to unseal records on the 14th. That's today. Okay, that's probably, okay. So then 7/17, there's a motions hearing at 10:30, and that's the one to vacate the non-dissemination order. They canceled. There's like a bunch of hearing schedules. This one's for, no, not that one. There's 1, 2, 3, it looks like that are like canceled, but they don't say like what they were. And I'm wondering, I can't remember for sure. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see when the last bit of discovery was supposed to be submitted, right? That's just so weird to me. Like, but okay, but hold on, but okay. Anne could have used that for trial. She definitely could have used that. That would have been something that you can use, right? I don't have all the discovery. How can we go to trial? Like, that would be like the thing I would say. She's never said that. She's never not said that once. Right? Like, she's never said, I don't have all the discovery. I can't go to trial. She just said, I have too much. And then she, like, when she said it, he was like, well, why didn't you tell me before now? Like, we could have hired somebody. And then, like, even right then, she still could have hired someone, but she just kept on cruising through. You know what I mean? Just like, here I am. Craziness. Okay. The defense filed the request June 25th. He pled on June 30th, I think. Wow. Right. Can't happen. Yeah. It's 3:58 a.m. Oh, man. I'm sorry, everybody on TikTok, if I get quiet. If you're in the chat, hello, hi, and welcome. Don't forget, if you'd like to follow me, we do talk about true crime over here. So we'd like to have you. And if you're not following me or subscribed over on YouTube, we'd love to have you over there too. Okay, so let me stop the screen there. There we go. And then I'm going to share the window so we can go to the book. Okay. So we're on chapter 15. I'm going to lie to everybody then because I wasn't sure. I thought we were on chapter 15, but I was like, did I read more? Y'all got me last night to read more, which was fine. I really didn't mind. I was like, these chapters are really short. So like, I'm going to just see really quick what we should do. Oh, wait, part 2's right there. Okay. Oh, well, son of a gun. I wish we would have read to chapter 19 now. It's because it's like part 2. So let me see. We'll read like. Sorry, I got to find what chapter we're on in the book. Okay. While I do this, if you guys don't mind, just take a second, hit the like button. Someone's going to be like, tell us again, lady. Tell us again. I'm just kidding. Okay. We'll go to like, maybe like 25. We'll see. We'll just start reading and we'll see. How about that? I always take the covers off of books because I swear they never stay on unless you tape them or something. Okay. Is everybody ready? If you're ready, let me know. Okay. We're on chapter 15. Yeah, Evangeline, this is a really good book so far. Oh, actually, I was going to let you guys know for the people that have not been here this whole time. Chapter 1 talks about like the night of the tragedy. The book opens up in Moscow, Idaho, a quiet college town setting the scene for the brutal murders at 1122 King Road. Chapter 2 is like the victim's stories. Chapter 3 is the crime scene. Chapter 4 is Bryan Kohberger's background. Chapter 5, investigation begins. Chapter 6, community fallout. Chapter 7, Dylan's encounter. Chapter 8, Kohberger's motive. Chapter 9, the family's grief. Chapter 10 and 11, investigation challenges, then the arrest. The legal process begins. Chapter 13, I think we didn't go this far. I think we went in parts, but chapter 14, community healing efforts, and chapter 15, the case's broader impact. So it is a really good book. If you guys want to read along with me, I'll have it up on the screen. That way you guys can, or you can just sit back and listen. And that is awesome too. So ready? Okay. I'm ready too. I just got to find the book. It's hidden behind your guys' screen. And then, oh shoot. This over here, put you guys up there so I can see the chat while I'm reading. Okay. Chapter 15, Moscow, Idaho, September 1st, 2022. Xana is waiting in her dark blue Honda for Karen, Emily's mom, at the little airstrip that is the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport. She's excited. She wants to show off her new progress to the woman she considers the mom she never had. It's just a 10-minute trip to Xana's new place. Xana shows Karen her room on the main level of 1122 King Road. Karen admires the bedding, which now matches. Xana says she saved money this summer and opened a bank account, something Emily joked she'd never do. At Maddie's suggestion, she joined the staff at the Mad Greek and makes $80 or so a shift. She shows Karen the wall mirror she bought with some of her earnings. Karen is proud of Xana, who is beaming. She tells Karen she loves her new roomies. But it's a bittersweet moment because for the first time in 3 years, Emily is living separately from Xana. I'll bet not far away, just across the street from where Emily is rooming with Josie at the Whites. Xana still sees Emily every day, and Karen heads over there now. Later that evening, Xana and Ethan drop by Emily's apartment, as they always do after a long day, to decompress and gossip. Karen is in her PJs, she recalled. Ethan sits down at the corner of Emily's sectional couch. Oh, wow. And instead of sitting on the couch, Xana sits on top of him. She snuggles. She's happy. She's telling us all about her day and what they did and da-da-da. She said this and everything. Karen couldn't look away from the comic visual of the evanescent just what is it? Circulating. Okay, I don't even know what that is. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. We gotta learn a word a day.
Later that evening,
oh shit.
Xana and Ethan dropped by
sorry. It's gonna do the whole thing now.
After a long day, to decompress and gossip.
I'm sorry,
Karen
guys.
is in her PJs. She recalled. Ethan sits down on the corner of Emily's sectional couch, and
I wanted one word.
Xana sits on top of him. She snuggles. She's happy, and she's telling us all
Sorry,
about
guys.
her day and what they did. And da-da-da-da-da. Who said this? Everything. Karen couldn't look away from the comic visual of the effervescent, gesticulating woman sitting on top of the patient.
Gesturate. I can say it.
Sketch out of Saturday Night Live. Karen said.
Stop.
Finally, he says, "Geez, woman, stop wiggling." And she just throws her head back.
Let's see if they just do the page.
And just goes on. Doesn't even miss the beat. It doesn't even faze her at all. She just keeps wiggling and talking. She laughs.
Okay, never mind.
He just laughs back, and he just continues to let her sit there and wiggle all over him, even though he is so uncomfortable. Obviously.
Okay, let me redo that. Sorry, guys. That was annoying. How do I get my book? Oh, there. I'm like, how do I get the books to come up? It came up over here. That's so weird. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to learn one word. I still couldn't say it. Thank you. It means to use gestures, especially dramatic ones, instead of speaking or emphasize one's word. Thank you. I was like, we're going to learn this one word today. And it was like, no, you're going to learn all the words in this whole book. So I'm so sorry about that. I thought I was just going to do the one word. So let me go back here and I'll pick up where we left off. So Karen, it says, Karen couldn't look away for, okay, I'm going to skip that part. Karen said, finally, he says, "Geez, woman, stop wiggling." And she just throws her head back and laughs like she normally does and just goes on, doesn't even miss the beat. It doesn't even faze her at all. She just keeps wiggling and talking. She laughs at him and he just laughs back, and he just continues to let her sit there and wiggle all over him, even though he is so uncomfortable, obviously, but he is so patient with her and he adores her. The bottom line was clear, not just to Karen, but to Emily, Hunter, Johnson, Josie, and Lyndon, all of whom were assembled in the room that night. Ethan would rather have Xana wiggling on his lap than be sitting anywhere else. Chapter 16, Moscow, Idaho, October 27th, 2022. After the roommates have a rare dinner at home together, Kaylee brings them into the living room. It's time, Kaylee says, to memorialize our group in our house on TikTok. Their house on 1122 King Road has become, on their watch, a UI fixture. It might not surpass the Shark's Tank's legendary reputation as a party house, but it's still a place where people want to come relax, have a drink, usually a shot offered by Xana and Ethan, and kick back. The view through the sliding doors is perfect for stargazing. You can stare at the trees and down the winding road for an ever-present reminder that there's another world called reality beyond the college bubble. In just a few weeks, Kaylee will graduate and leave to begin her new journey in the real world. In anticipation of Thanksgiving, when Olivia will be back, she's spending most of her time in Rantham and taking many of her classes remotely. They come up with a commemorative screenplay, the roommates pretending to be each other. It's like charades with clues drawn from the invented scenes that highlight each friend's character. Ready, go, says Kaylee. First up is Maddie pretending to be Kaylee. She stomps up the stairs and complains of a dank smell. Murphy, you've been a bad boy. She pretends to chastise the dog for pooping indoors. Next is Xana pretending to be Dylan. She comes out of her room, backpack on, flustered. Fuck, it's 9:10, guys. Can anyone drive me to class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I was supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Next, Kaylee pretends to be Xana. She anxiously grabs a broom and starts to sweep frantically. Did anyone do their chores today? She doesn't wait for an answer. I'm just going to do it. Next up is Bethany pretending to be Maddie. Shit, you guys, it's 8. Gotta go. Jake's calling. She stands up from the couch where they're all sitting and heads for the door, repeating, Jake's calling. Next up is Josie standing in for Dylan, pretending to be Bethany. She looks at a photo of herself on her phone and grimaces. Oh my God, you look horrid. Xana is now Dylan. She cuddles up to Murphy before realizing the dog smells rank. Oh my God, Murphy, you are so cute. And then putting the dog down, she exclaims, oh my God, you've got to get out of here. You've seriously got to get out of here. Now Bethany is Kaylee. She reads a text in front of the group. Hey guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but seriously, what would you do? What would you guys do in my situation? Now Maddie is Xana, headed downstairs. I've got to go do a test, she says. I failed 2 of them already, and now Maddie is Bethany. Is anyone doing a wine night? Let's just do a wine night. Dylan being Xana. Dude, is it okay if I throw a party? Just 3 or 4 people at most. They do several takes and several edits before declaring themselves happy with the video that Kaylee then posts. Whatever happens in the future, she'll always have this to hold on to. This picture of this house and the 5 of them in it. Chapter 17. I do like the smaller chapters. I do like that. No, it's Moscow, Idaho, November 5th, 2022. The week after the Chapin triplets celebrate their 20th birthdays, it's family weekend at the University of Idaho. Stacy and Jim Chapin are in Moscow buying their kids mimosas for breakfast. The 3 are still as close as they were growing up. Xana is excited for them to meet her dad, Jeff, who lives in Arizona, but is putting in an appearance. Stacy can see how happy Ethan is with Xana. Stacy can also see the signs that her kids are becoming independent adults. When the weekend is over, as Stacy and Jim drive away from campus, Stacy shares a realization with her husband. The Chapin triplets are maturing into giving, thoughtful people, and it's clear that they're almost ready to lead their own lives. For parents, this is a milestone, a bittersweet turning point that all parents hope and dread they'll face. Our job is done, Stacy thinks. Then she says it aloud. Our job is done. She and Jim look at each other. They grin. They high-five in the car. Our job is done. It's sad. Chapter 18, Moscow, Idaho, Friday, November 11th, 2022. The residents of 1122 King Road started pre-gaming at around noon for the Pi Theta formal. They had no intention of going to the official formal, but they would entail a bus ride and staying sober beforehand in the sorority house. The older girls who officially left Pi Phi last year wouldn't even be allowed in. The youngest 2, Dylan and Bethany, prematurely left the house to live off campus and are loyal to Maddie, Xana, and Emily, so they won't receive a warm welcome. It's picture time. They use a white shower curtain as a high contrast backdrop for their LBD's little black dresses, though Xana, who likes to be different, is donned in a little red dress. Maddie poses for a photo with Dylan, then Kaylee poses with Dylan. They both post photos to Instagram. The usual gang comes over. Emily, Josie, and the Chapin brothers. Peter, Lyndon, Maisie pops in, but not Hunter Johnson. He is working over at the high school. Drinks are poured. More pictures are taken. 6 p.m. They are all feeling particularly festive because tomorrow is game day. The UI football team is playing UC Davis. Out on the back deck, Maddie films a video of the Chapin brothers, Emily and Xana, shotgunning their drinks. She closes with a cameo of herself, pretending to look ladylike and shocked. It's funny. The group is well on their way to getting drunk. Though the Vandals hardly ever win, game days in Moscow are local celebrations regardless of the score. Everyone flocks to the Kibbe Dome. Everyone. Chief Fry is always there. So is the mayor. So is the mayor. Art Bettage. Parents with camper trailers hosting tailgating parties for the kids in the stadium parking lot. Tomorrow's weather forecast is bad and the group has no access to a trailer tailgate, so the 1122 King Road roommates plan to party on campus instead of outside the stadium. Nonetheless, it's going to be fun. I'm just going to take a quick little a sidebar really quick. Someone in my comments was like, when we were talking about like the loud noises, coming from the home and them drinking and just being 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds. And I was like, yeah, I had like the best time of my life then, I was like, we were just doing whatever. And so I wasn't saying like we were blasting music and like being disruptive, but she was like, yeah, she's like, I never grew up like that. And she's like, I don't know. She was like, I wouldn't do that or something like that. And I'm like, you didn't live your 20s then, because OSU game day, if it's noon game, you're drinking at 8:00 in the morning. You better be ready. And everybody has their front door open, music blasting. Come on in. Really. So inviting. I was like, you missed out, lady. Right? Right, baby girl, right, cuff you? Me too. I partied my ass off too. I was like, where do I need to hide if the cops come? That's all I need to know. But it's like hard. It's warming that like in a way that they did get to live their lives like to the fullest, as short as they were, Right, Cynthia? I partied for like only a few years, like everyone does, like 21 to 23, something like that, 24 maybe. After that, I don't drink now. I haven't drank in like 8 years, but probably like 6 years. But it's been a while. Or what's the escape route? Oh, in a bar, I'm always like that. I'm like, where can I go? Where can I leave? My dog's getting comfortable. Okay. So I hope that I hope everyone got to live out their 20s, because that sucks if you didn't. Though the Vandals hardly ever win, the game days in Moscow are local celebrations. Sorry, I read that already, but that's okay. Tomorrow's weather forecast is bad. Did I read all this? I might. Nonetheless, it's going to be fun. I did. Sorry. They take another swig of their drinks. Cheers to that. Saturday, November 12th, 2022, 8 a.m. Emily wakes up early and gets to the Dome by 8:30. She works part-time assisting UI football recruiting, which means she helps set up the stadium so that coaches can meet with visiting parents and officials and unofficial recruits. She's annoyed to be separated from her friends. She keeps getting updates on their activities and group chats. Xana is rallying the troops on campus. At 11:30 a.m., Xana summons people urgently to King Road. Get over here, she texts Josie a dozen times. Xana puts her hair in 2 braids because Emily's not there to help her style it and her roommates are busy getting ready. Everyone at UI knows it's essential to look good on game day. The 1122 King Road roommates take their time getting ready. They stick to tradition and drink champagne while they apply their makeup. I miss getting ready with my girlfriends. Sexy casual is the unwritten dress code. Well, that was me. By noon, everyone's gathered at the King Road house. Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, Ethan, Dylan, Bethany, Hunter Chapin, Josie, Lyndon, Peter, and Hunter Johnson. At 1 p.m., they move the party over to the Whites, where Emily and Josie's rooms are and where the AFEs have an apartment. At 2 p.m., Xana tugs at Ethan's hand and tells him to come outside. Obviously, the residents of 1122 King Road want a roommate photo. They ask Hunter Johnson to take it. First, they arrange themselves for an all-girl photo. Kaylee removes her Idaho sweatshirt for a sexier bare midriff look. Quintessentially, I don't know how to say that. She kicks her left foot behind her. The members of the group look at her. Dylan, who has her back towards the wall of the Whites, is on one side. The others, Bethany, Maddie, Xana, hug sideways, lined up tightly. Hunter clicks away 15 times. Higher, lower, he asked. He's a smart guy. Kaylee checks, finds a decent one, and posts it to her Instagram. Now they need Hunter to take a photo with Ethan in it. The girls joke that the picture is incomplete without their honorary roommate. Landscape or vertical, Hunter Johnson asks. So whoever, that girl better marry that guy. You better wife him or husband him up, because, do you want a vertical? I mean, like, who? I asked Vince to take a picture. And he's like, click, click, click. And they're horrible. They're the worst. I love him, but he takes the worst pictures of me. The answer is easy, vertical. Kaylee, now in her sweatshirt, squats down so Maddie can climb onto her shoulders. They can fit better in the frame this way next to gentle giant Ethan. Dylan is on the left, Bethany on the right. Between them, Kaylee with Maddie hoisted high, and Ethan, who as usual has his arm around Xana. Hunter takes 15 shots on Kaylee's phone and hands it back to her. She texts her favorite to the group. Emily smiles when she sees it. She misses her friends already. She and Xana have hardly spent a day apart in 2 years. Kaylee forwards the photo to her mom, Christy, and to Karen Laramie, Maddie's mom. At 3 p.m., the group returns to the AFI apartment where Hunter Johnson, Ethan, and Xana are watching Auburn versus Alabama, a college game they find considerably better than the one in the Kibbe Dome. Hunter Johnson tells Xana and Ethan his sad news. He'll be leaving them at the end of the semester. As part of his graduate degree, he needs to intern in either Boise or Post Falls. But you'll come visit, Xana asks. Bummer, says Ethan. He tells Hunter to think of it not as goodbye, but as a temporary separation. At 4 p.m., maybe because he's distracted, Hunter Johnson puts his phone down and forgets about it. Maddie and Dylan eye it and decide to have some fun. They pose up a storm and take dozens of selfies, imagining Hunter's surprise when he discovers them an hour or two later. 4:30 p.m., you want to come with me to the game? Hunter Johnson asks Ethan and Xana. He's going to meet Emily and bring her home when the game is over. Ethan pretends to be distressed. No one cares about the actual game, only the tailgating. I can't, he says, fake crying. Oh, thank you, Magamama, for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I got my sister's formal in a couple hours. Asshole, says Hunter Johnson good-naturedly. He walks out the room, having no clue it's the last time he'll see Ethan alive. At 7 p.m., it's Theta's formal at the local brewery. Maisie has taken Ethan. Hunter Chapin is going with Maisie's roommate. Stacy, their mom, is so happy that the triplets are all together for Maisie's formal. She asks them to send lots of photos. She wants a full recounting of the evening. 9 p.m., once the formal is over, Maisie's brothers try to persuade her to keep partying with them, but Maisie's tired. She asks her brothers to drop her back at the sorority house. Jim Chapin has told his sons that they always need to see Maisie home safely. The job comes with a perk. The Theta fridge normally has some pretty good sandwiches in it, and the boys get to help themselves before continuing their Saturday night. At 9:30, the Chapin brothers go to the Sigma Chi fraternity house on Nez Press Drive across a field from 1122 King Road. Xana is there already. At 10 p.m., the fraternity party is in full swing. Ethan wants his friends to enjoy it with him. Where are you? Ethan texts Hunter Johnson and Emily. Emily is in bed asleep, exhausted after her day working at the football game. Hunter Johnson texts Ethan that he'll be over when she wakes up. He doesn't feel comfortable leaving her. Most unusually, for a Saturday night, Josie and Lyndon are also home asleep at the Whites, in Josie's bedroom next to Emily's. It's been a hard 24 hours of partying. So then 11 p.m., thanks, Magamama. You're so sweet. Thank you. You guys are awesome. At 11 p.m., Ethan thinks about who else of his group is missing from the Sig Chi party. His sister. You are so lame, he texts her. He hates being separated from her. Maisie doesn't see the text until the next morning when it's too late. That's sad. Thank you, Cherie. It's so nice of you. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Oh, thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions for me and I didn't answer them, I might not have seen them in the chat. Just throw some like fireworks in there and I'll star it and I'll get back to it. Because I'm on another screen, that's all. There's Tom. Okay, so let's go on with the book. Sunday, November 13th, 2022. So this is the daytime or go time, like. Oh, have a good night, Per Anderson. Thank you for becoming a member. Have a good evening. You just landed? Oh, good. 11 p.m., Ethan thinks about who else of his group is missing from the Sig Chi party. I already read this, right? November 13th at 12 a.m. In downtown Moscow, Kaylee and Maddie are together, jammed inside the Corner Club, a popular bar the size of a 3-car garage. The Corner Club is always packed, but on game day, it's heavy. It's heavying. It might be a windowless box, but it's Moscow's windowless box. This is a small college town where people look out for one another. I would never go there. No windows. You got me messed up. Mark Trivelpiece, the club's owner, keeps a careful eye on the customers. He's been in the business too long to make rookie mistakes. Underage students like Dylan and Bethany won't pass the Moscow cops' strict protocols about IDs. A team of kids from Greek life work the bar, discreetly watching for anyone who's getting sloppy or might need help getting home. One of them is Adam Ludep, friend of fraternity brother and roommate of Kaylee's ex, Jack. 1:20 a.m., the best friends have had enough. They're tired and hungry and more than a little inebriated. I told Adam everything, Maddie says of Kaylee's quandering with Jack. Kaylee throws up her hands, concerned that Maddie has overshared with Adam, the guy behind the bar. The friends swerve as they make the 8-minute walk to the main street where the grub truck is always parked. Food. They need food. 1:30 a.m. At the grub truck, Kaylee orders a carbonara mac and cheese for her and Maddie to share. They know the guy in the hoodie who's standing behind them, Jack Showalter. He's an occasional visitor to King Road. He's a good guy, they think. The girls flirt a little with him. Kaylee asks if he's interested in going to another party somewhere, but he's tired. Speaking of, so are they. It's been a long day. They need a ride home. Kaylee texts the designated sober driver. At 1:50 a.m., Hunter Johnson texts Ethan to ask if he's still at the Sig Chi party. Emily is still asleep. At 1:56 a.m., Kaylee and Maddie head back home to King Road. They chat in the living room. Dylan is in her room wasted. Bethany is in her room asleep. At 2 a.m., Ethan responds to Hunter Johnson that he and Xana are still at Sig Chi. Approximately 2:15 a.m., Xana and Ethan return home. At 2:15 a.m., this is new. Kaylee and Maddie chat on the couch a little longer and then go upstairs and collapse on Maddie's bed. Murphy, Kaylee's golden doodle, is in Kaylee's room. Kaylee often leaves him there when she's out. Okay. For the umpteenth time, Kaylee tells her friend she's unsure what to do about her ex, Jack Decor. They start texting him. He lives only 3 doors down. Kaylee misses him. She wants him to come over. I'm still not buying it. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt the book, but I'm still not buying that Kaylee left that dog in her room that night. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Why wouldn't you take the dog into Maddie's room and the dog sleep with you guys in the bed? That's your 11-month-old golden doodle. That's your baby that you travel back and forth. You give it to the dad. You got the custody going on. There ain't no way in heck she left that dog in that bedroom and shut the door on Murphy and then went and slept with Maddie. I don't see it. I just don't. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And then if she still had stuff there and it looks like there's boxes piled up in one of the pictures, Murphy would have got into that stuff. Like he would have chewed all that. Like he's 11-month-old puppy. Remember that, right? And she had designer things. That don't make no sense to me. She wouldn't close him in a room. Yeah, I don't see that. She loved that dog. I just see her taking him. And if she did stay in Kaylee in Maddie's room, she would take the dog with her. I'm telling you, she was in her room that night. Bryan Kohberger, we need the truth. 2:26 a.m., we need it all. We need to know where you entered, where you exited. We need to know what you did first, what you did second, how you were feeling, why you did it. We need to know it all. 2:26 a.m., Kaylee phones Jack. He's asleep and doesn't hear her call. She calls a second time. She calls a third time, a fourth time, a fifth. 2:44 a.m., Kaylee calls Jack a sixth time. Then Maddie phones him 3 more times. He sleeps through all of them, blissfully unaware of the immediate danger. 2:52 a.m., Kaylee tries Jack one last time. 3 a.m. Emily wakes up at the Whites, so to do Josie and Lyndon. That doesn't sound right. Josie realizes she left her phone in her car. She goes out to get it. It's foggy out. She thinks it's dark and quiet. When she comes back, Hunter Johnson gets up and locks the door to the apartment. He doesn't know why. He's never done that before. He and Emily go to sleep. So the night of the murders, he gets up and he goes and locks the front door. And he's never done this before, but that night, something was like in his head and like, in his bones, like a foreshadowing or something that something was happening. And he went and he locked his door. That is eerie to me. Because the sad thing is, like, it didn't help him. He's the one that found him. He's the one that had to tell Ethan's brother, the other Hunter, right? Like, oh man. It says, in fact, he and Emily go to sleep. No one thinks to text Ethan or Xana. They assume everyone is asleep. In fact, Xana is awake and scrolling on TikTok. She orders DoorDash from the Jack in the Box in Pullman, the only place open at that hour. 4 a.m., Xana's food arrives. It ought to be the ordinary end of an ordinary game day. Except for Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana, it isn't. 4:17 a.m., Dylan is in her bed, drifting in and out of a fitful post-game day sleep. The walls of her bedroom are so paper thin that earlier Dylan could hear almost everything Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan and Xana were saying as they chatted on the couch in the living room. Next thing she hears is the familiar stomping as they go up the stairs. She can dimly hear music from one of their bedrooms. But then everything turns surreal. Not sure whether she's dreaming or awake, she thinks she hears someone frantically say, "There's someone here." That doesn't seem right, and yet it also does because so many people come in and out of 1122 King Road. She gets up and opens her door a crack. Nothing. Dylan goes back to bed, but then she hears someone crying. Is it Xana? She gets up again and opens the door. A fraction of an inch, she hears a male voice say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." There's a thud, and Murphy starts to bark. Dylan shuts her door again. Is she going crazy? Now there's silence again. She opens the door a third time. That's when she sees the firefighter. Or at least blurry-eyed, that's what she thinks she's seeing. He's got bushy eyebrows. He's wearing a mask. He's holding a firefighting object, a bit like a vacuum. They make eye contact for a split second. You know what I think that is? That the item he had in his hand? I think it was something from Xana's room. When he sat down on that chair, right? Because he was exhausted after doing everything he did when he sat there for a minute. I think that's when he realized, shit, I don't have the sheath. Because he probably was going to go put his knife away, right? He's sitting there. He's done. He thinks, put your knife away. Oh, don't know where my sheath is. So he grabs something from like on her nightstand or like her desk or whatever behind him. I don't know what it was, but could have been like a jewelry box. Could have been anything, right? Cylinder, like kind of container of some sort. Just wanted to let you guys know that. She shuts her door and looks around for her taser. The battery is dead. Bethany, she tries calling her friend downstairs, nothing. But then, thank God, Bethany phones her back. Dylan tells her she thinks she saw someone in black, masked. Their call, less than a minute. Dylan then calls Xana, no reply. She calls Kaylee, nothing. She calls Bethany again. They speak for 41 seconds. Dylan is breathing heavily. She's terrified. Has she gone crazy? Is she hallucinating? Then Bethany phones Xana. She also gets no answer. Dylan tries Maddie, nothing. Bethany phones Ethan, nothing. At 4:22 a.m., Dylan texts Bethany the tragically obvious. No one is answering, and then I'm really confused right now. She texts Kaylee again. Kaylee, what's going on? There is still no reply. On the lower level, Bethany switches to Snap and then back again to text message. She texts Dylan. Yeah, dude, WTF. Then Xana was wearing all black. It's a question, not a statement. Dylan replies to Bethany's text to the former, I'm freaking out right now, and to the latter, no, it's like a ski mask almost. Bethany writes back, STFU. Actually, Dylan's fingers trip on the keys as she types, like he's had something over his forehead, and little and mouth. There's no time to fix typos. Look, there's one right here. Bethany, look at this. Oh, I thought that was him, the writer, sorry. Bethany, I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out right now. Bethany, so am I. Dylan wrote, phone is going to die. Fuck. Bethany tells her, come to my room, run down here. It's 4:24 a.m. Can Dylan run? Is it safe? Dylan tries Ethan's cell once more. She and Bethany have another quick exchange. At 4:27 a.m., she tries Kaylee again, then Xana, still nothing. Dylan makes the decision to run. She sprints to Bethany's room. The two friends cling to one another. They keep trying to reach the roommates. Bethany tries Maddie twice and then Kaylee twice. Dylan texts Kaylee. Bethany goes on Snap and Instagram looking for clues. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It's 4:37 a.m. Exhausted and terrified, the two girls pass out. Neither of them falls into a deep slumber. Bethany wakes at 7:30 a.m. and calls her parents, telling them both about the strange events of the night before. Maybe, she tells herself, Dylan just had a very bad dream. Dylan comes to around 8 a.m. and also tells herself she had a very bad dream after drinking too much. She immerses herself on Instagram for a couple of hours. The house seems quiet, calm. She agrees with Bethany. She must have hallucinated the whole thing. Around 10:23 a.m., when it should be time for the others to start waking, Dylan texts Maddie, are you up? There's no reply, but that's not abnormal. Dylan dozes off again. Over an hour later, she rouses and also texts Kaylee, are you up? Nothing. Now she's starting to panic again. Was it all not a dream? At 11:49 a.m., Dylan calls her classmate at Pi Phi sister, Jenna McClure, and asks her to come over. Then she phones her big, Emily, who is at her apartment having breakfast with Josie, Hunter Johnson, and Lyndon. Can you come over? Dylan asks. Something weird happened last night. I don't really know if I was dreaming or not, but I think there was a man here and I'm really scared. Can you come check out the house? I text Santa and the others, but no one's answering. I'm in the basement with Bethany. Emily laughs. Dylan can get really, really drunk. This is not the first time she's heard a story like this from her little. Haha, should I bring my pepper spray? She asks. Emily gets up and goes looking for a sweatshirt, and when she comes back, she sees Hunter Johnson had already left the apartment. Hunter makes his way up the steps into the house. He heads up the stairs and sees Xana's bedroom door slightly ajar. Unusual. He opens it. He sees her lying inert as if she's fallen backward on the floor, face up. There is blood everywhere. He takes in Ethan on the bed behind her, facing towards the wall. Hunter's heart is about to explode. He doesn't go any further into the house. He turns around, goes downstairs, and says as calmly as he can to Dylan and Bethany, call 911 and stay outside. He takes a breath, goes back up the stairs, and heads to the kitchen across the hall from Xana's room. He opens a drawer and takes out a kitchen knife. He's terrified. He's about to re-enter Xana's room when he hears someone coming up the stairs. It's Emily. He stops her. Emily, I don't think Xana's going to wake up, he tells his girlfriend as softly as he can. She doesn't understand, but something in his expression chills her, and she stands still, rooted to the spot. I'm going in to take their pulses, he says, knowing already that he's too late. Wow. But he goes in anyway, and after he does that, he checks the closets for any signs of the murderer. There is none. Emily has gone downstairs. He follows and waits for the cops in the living room. Hunter says nothing to Emily or to the others who are outside. He's trying to protect these innocents from both the sight and the reality, but he already knows the horrific truth. Xana and Ethan are dead. Hunter doesn't know if Kaylee and Maddie are even in the house, but he fears the worst. The devil has been at 1122 King Road, and he has no idea why. So this is part 2, Inception. No, she was found in the bedroom. She was found with her head towards the wall and her feet towards the door. Well, if he sure did, yep. He did a lot that morning for them girls. And I bet you anything that they are extremely, extremely grateful for him, you know? Okay, chapter 19. That's weird. I thought we were on chapter 15 when we started. We only went through 4 chapters. That's weird. I thought we went through more. Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, 2013. So we're going to meet Bryan Kohberger, it sounds like. 3 teenage boys are racing through the trees, pretending they're Marines. This is the Poconos. Racing around in the woods with knives or guns is normal here. In these dense woods, the kids can play paintball all day and airsoft, and they can hunt critters, and they can lose one another for hours on end. 2 of the boys don't notice exactly where the third boy, a tall kid with bulging eyes, positions himself. They don't see if he's close to the house or even inside it. The house is invisible from the road. Its owner, Mark Bayless, a former Navy SEAL, who is the father of one of the boys, bought it for precisely that reason. He liked its remoteness, that it was surrounded by woods. Mark is a skilled hunter of animals, but also of men. But even though he's a special forces veteran with skills and experience, he cannot catch the person who is repeatedly stealing his knives, his coins, his prescription pills, his girlfriend's jewelry. It maddens him. That was one of Kohberger's friends. Oh, yeah, I have to do something really quick. I have to slide the thing into there. I don't know. I did that. I just want to get that at this phone. Okay. It says it maddens him. He keeps calling the cops, but they are worse than useless. They show up, file a report, do nothing. So Bayless stays frustrated. Could the thief be one of the veterans he houses nearby as part of the charity he founded? That's a bad feeling. He doesn't put it together until years later that the thief must have been one of his son's friends. He doesn't see it in the moment, but he's sure later how it happened. The first time he believes the tall, pale kid who weirded him out waited for the others to run off into the trees, then forced the lock and entered the garage where Mark kept his collection of army knives and took one. On the next visit, Mark thinks he took another. One by one, they vanished. Next, it was Bayless' coin collection, worth $25,000. Why would you have a coin collection that's worth $25,000 just hanging outside and not in a safe? I'm surprised. We can't even be mad at somebody for stealing that. If it's just out in the, really, I wouldn't. It's bad you don't steal, but I'm just kidding. Like, did he have it like up on a shelf? Here, look at my 25,000 in pennies, nickels, quarters, and dimes. That's a lot of change. That's a lot of change. But you know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? A safe. Just hey, I know where there's one for sale. Rex Huerman. Get linked with him. They're probably selling it soon. I'm so bad. I'm going to hell for that. Okay. Wow. So where were we at? Bayless talks to his son Jack and his nephew Brandon about the thefts. He says he's going to catch the thief if they try again. Shoot him. Jack tells the third kid, whose name is Bryan, that his dad is pissed. Bryan tells Jack he reverts his father. That's what he says, or at least what he put in text. But what he does, or what Mark thinks he does, smacks of something different than straight up hero worship. Someone starts to stalk Mark Bayless. The stalker hides in those trees, camouflage, munching on Reese's peanut butter cups, dropping the wrappers on the ground, waiting for Mark to leave on one of his orange motorbikes or in his pickup truck. Oh, the passed out thing? That came from Hunter Johnson. So when he went, so it's in the new documentary. I need to get that 4th one up for you guys. And thanks, Ishi. In the documentary, it says something about that Hunter Johnson, when he was on the phone, I can't remember exactly. I have to watch the full episode, but I think he says something like unconscious person. I know that's where it came from. It didn't actually come. We thought it came from, the Whitman 911 dispatch, but it actually came from the people there. So, and yeah, it does have a metallic smell. So I think that what happened was they didn't go up they didn't go up the stairs. They didn't get up there. And if they did, they only got to like the top step, I think. So maybe they were far away enough to, and the door was closed for the most part, as that said. Like it was like he had to push it open to see. So to me, they might not see it or smell it. Or if they did, they may not recognize that smell as like blood or death, or, you know, like if, especially if you're on the first floor and you just walk out, you might not smell it down there. Right, Dion? And you know how many people went after like Hunter and them? Oh my gosh. And like now look at look at what we know now. It's insanity. I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to try not to interrupt, but thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for being here from Twitter. Thank you for being here from YouTube. That's my main hub. And thank you for being here for TikTok. I think I might have said that twice. I don't know. But thank you for being here from everywhere. I appreciate it. Or X. I think I called it Twitter. I don't know. Oh, Marilyn. Okay, here we go. Bayless talks. Okay, all right. Let's get to the right part. I can't believe he's eating Reese's peanut butter cups. I was about to get some of them today. Now you're ruining stuff for me. The stalker forces the door open with a knife and heads for the bathroom where Bayless keeps old prescription drugs. And the thief can guess where he'd keep the jewelry in the bedroom. One time the thief is up in the bedroom and hears wheels in the driveway. Bayless is back. Later, much later, Bayless puts the scene together in his head. He comes to believe that Bryan, knowing he has the element of surprise on his side, waits for the veteran to walk toward the back of the house, then sprints out the front door and into the woods he knows will protect him, through the trees and onto the road, safe for now. Chapter 20, Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, fall of 2012. When the tall, thin man and the fat teenage boy enters his boxing gym near the Big Cheese Pizza off Route 209, Jesse Harris thinks this is a familiar sight. Anxious parent bringing in troubled child. Yeah. People in Pennsylvania do that. Like, that's a thing that I mean, I'm not saying I'm from Pennsylvania. I was born there and raised there a little bit, but I've heard of a couple people doing this, just like taking their kids to the boxing ring, go box. The former pro boxer opened his gym here for precisely this reason. He thinks of himself as having a dual role: physical fitness guru and mental fitness guru. Jesse set up the gym to offer local people who've given up teens mostly hope, purpose. Anyone who's failed in life can make it in Jesse's gym. Boys looking for brotherhood, girls looking for sisterhood, or to learn self-defense, anyone who's prepared to work to train. Jesse is proud of his results. There are regular stories in the Pocono Record about the correlation between the work done in his gym and the reduction of crime in the area. Years after they've trained with him, people stop him in the street or wave him down in his car to express their appreciation. It makes Jesse feel great. Today, the lumbering kid who barely makes eye contact lets his dad do the talking. The man introduces himself as Michael Kohberger and says with forced brightness, "This is my son, Bryan." He says Bryan wants to lose weight. He's changing his habits, his life. He's going to start a vegan diet, but he needs to build muscle, speed up his metabolism. The father, clearly a nice guy, Jesse notes, but a talker, hardly pausing to breathe. He tells Jesse he's got his own HVAC business, works for the Pleasant Valley School District. He glances around the gym and tells Jesse he'd be happy to help with any maintenance issues for free, fix a refrigerator, that sort of thing. Jesse says he can help Bryan as long as Bryan is prepared to help himself. He tells Bryan, whose eyes stay glued to the floor, that he can use the gym daily for as long as he wants. The other guys in the gym look at the fat kid and roll their eyes. They've given up on him already. He'll never fit in, they are thinking. Jesse wonders if they are right. He, too, isn't sure about this kid. But the next day, right after school, the kid appears, swinging his backpack off his shoulders. The gym is an easy walking distance of the high school, but his dad drops him off. Jesse's regulars ignore the kid as he gets to work. No one else in the room is anywhere near that size. He must be more than 100 pounds overweight. Jesse shows Bryan the gloves, and they do basic pad work. Jesse stands on one side of the face size ring hanging from the ceiling, and Bryant stands on the other. Pow, pow, left, right. Though his bulging eyes can't seem to stop moving. The kid looks focused. His considerable body weight goes into the punch. Jab, jab. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Jesse can tell that the kid likes the rhythm of punching. They all do, Jesse thinks. That's why boxing is better than therapy. The kid is surprising. He's back the next day. Jesse shows him the power pad. The kid stands on it and pulls the bands up to his sides. If he keeps at it, Jesse tells him he'll be able to pull the bands over his head. And the kid comes back again and again. Every day, the dad drops him off, coming in to chat with Jesse if the coach has the time. He mentions that Bryan's had trouble in school. He's been bullied, doesn't like their new house. His friend Jeremy was a bad influence, and they've had to separate them. Jesse notices as the days pass that Bryan is getting leaner and more focused. He spends 2 or 3 hours at a time in the gym. When do you have time to do your homework, bro? It's almost as if he's got nothing else to do, Jesse thinks. He probably doesn't. Now, when his dad comes, he tells Jesse he's proud of his kid. Jesse tells him he's proud of Bryan too. The kid's no brother, not to Jesse or anyone else, keeps to himself, works out, then leaves. The regulars start to acknowledge him. Hey, Bryan, he's one of them for now. Chapter 21, Effort, Pennsylvania, April 2013. Casey Arnaz is playing a video game, The Sims, on a Friday night when she gets a text from Bryan Kohberger. She smiles because she likes Bryan. That's a bit of a controversial stance in her friend group. Bryan has had his ups and downs with her younger brother, Tom, who says Bryan likes to get physical for no reason. One of Tom's friends, Brandon Andreola, says Bryan has a temper. There's also the fact that Bryan hangs out with Jeremy Saba, who Casey thinks is a dick. And Saba is known to be a junkie these days, but she likes Bryan. He may not say much, but Bryan has always been sweet to her. He's, I don't know how to say that word in his text. No. He always asks her how she is. Most recently, he's been asking about her work at the glitter manufacturer in New Jersey, about her career plans. She wants to go into interior design after college. Casey knows Bryan's plans. He graduated high school early in March and wants to go to college, maybe East Stroudsburg University in the fall to study criminal justice. Tonight, he's texting Casey because he needs a favor. He tells her his car broke down and he needs to get to his cousin's house near Luna Rosa, a restaurant in Broadheadsville. That's a 20-minute drive up Route 209. He doesn't say why. Casey says fine. She's happy to help Bryan. She feels sorry for him that he's stuck all the way up in Indian Mountain Lake in that weird gated community. It's a full mile from his new home to the security guard's booth. So she gets into her car and drives the 3 miles up the mountain to meet Bryan, who's waiting for her outside the security gate. She drives him to Luna Rosa. He pops in and out of the restaurant, then asks if she can swing by CVS quickly because he needs to buy needles for his aunt, who is diabetic. Casey, you didn't believe that, did you, girl? Buy freaking diabetic needles. Oh, come on. Casey thinks that's a bit weird, shady actually, but it's hard to argue with such an apparent compassion. She gives him the benefit of the doubt. When he's inside CVS, she thinks fondly of the times they've got joshed together, like when they used to play the game of things with Tom and Brandon, a party game where players guess who wrote which anonymous answer to prompts like things you shouldn't say to your mom. She misses those happy times. A few days later, he remembers to text her happy birthday. She thanks him as she always does. But when she next sees Brandon, he tells her it's common knowledge that Bryan gets heroin at Luna Rosa. That's why he needed Casey to give him a ride there and back, and why he stopped to get needles at CVS. Casey feels sick. She realizes that most likely she was carrying heroin in her car. Had she been pulled over, she could have been arrested. Thank you, Ishi. Now Casey is mad. At 7:49 p.m. on May 21st, she sends Bryan a Facebook message, a rare instance in which she is driving the exchange, not him. I would like to hand you a big congratulations for lying to me about driving you around. I should have added up beforehand, but thought I was doing something nice for someone. So thank you. If you would have gotten caught, I would have gotten in trouble just for driving you around, not even knowing why. Needles for your aunt? Wow, real great story. Bye. A full day later at 8:33 p.m., he responds, I'm in rehab. When I saw that, I'm sorry. I know somebody like Bryan, like that part right there, that part of Bryan, not the other parts, not near like that. Just this part, like the quit, like the me, but back to me, like, oh, I'm in rehab, like, like woe is me kind of deal. Yeah, you can get needles at the pharmacy. I've heard other people like doing it before. I believe they were diabetic. I mean, I don't know though. And it's a good way to get if you're going to do that stuff. I mean, at least just be clean about it. Do you know what I mean? Just go get the needles. I mean, just buy them. I don't recommend anyone ever doing it, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know you can get some sort of needle at the pharmacy because I've heard people say it. I think it's diabetic needles because they'll say what they are. I don't know what the brand is. I bet you somebody in here is diabetic, maybe. Yeah, he went straight to needles. And just think about that for a second. Like he didn't like do anything. It does, as far as we know, he didn't do anything or like experiment with anything before he went straight to heroin. Like, whoa, dude. Whoa, right? So he responds, I'm in rehab. I know that Casey writes back. She receives no reply. But as the weeks turn into months, she forgives Bryan. How could she not? He's back from rehab and he's so patently alone or lonely. He texts her repeatedly to ask if her parents will let them hang out. And when she doesn't respond, his texts become sadder and less frequent. In early 2014, Bryan tells her to be proud that she's making something of her life. I'm not, haha, he writes. Casey wishes that she could be nicer to him, that they all could be nicer to him. He seems to be struggling. On March 27, 2014, nearly a year after the car ride to Luna Russa, he sends a text. You know I love you guys. You know I love you guys. Always will, even if we stop talking one day. What is Bryan talking about? What does it mean? Indian Mountain Lake, Pennsylvania, 2014. Michael Kohberger doesn't want to make the call he's about to, but he has no choice. His own son is a threat to the family. None of it has worked. Not the boxing, not the diet, not the trips to the gun range, or the move away from Jeremy Saba, Bryan's childhood friend who had gotten him into heroin. Not even a stint in rehab. Okay, no, we ain't gonna blame Jeremy Saba. Bryan did this on his own. He could make nope. He did that on his own. Bryan can't stop using, which means he can't stop stealing. Now he's taken Melissa's cell phone and sold it at a mall kiosk for $200, half of what it's worth. Actions have consequences. Children, whatever their age, need to understand that. So he closes his eyes briefly, then dials 911. The police arrive, read Bryan his rights, and cuff him. The kid is civil, barely looks at his dad. He knows who called the cops and why. There's a time to be calm, to talk to the police politely. Bryan knows that because he's only 16, there's a good chance this will be expunged from his record if he behaves. He'll go again to rehab. Outwardly, he'll be good, polite son everyone wants. But inside, alone in the basement, Bryan lets his true feelings out on Tapatalk and SoundCloud, writing, recording, and posting an original rap song made for other sufferers of visual snow, a neurological condition that is the visual equivalent of a TV static. The rage, the loneliness just pours out of him. The words are layered over a beat that is equally staccato and furious. A track no one in his family is likely to hear, but this is the real him. Okay. Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonders when I'll change. I guess when the time is right. Procrastinating my deranged to change would be a fight. So I'm pacifist. Like I'm afraid to get a bloody fist. Man, your rap is so bad. Look at this. My mind is pissed and I keep running. Why is this when I hit, it always leaves them stunning? I stuck in the future. I stuck in the future. No, I'm stuck. I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present. Keep it up. Act like you're all that. Leave your loved ones crying like some seagulls. You are not my equal. You are evil, but I am unintelligible people, evil devil. And now I'm going regal. Don't fuck with us. Who's us? Hope you learned your lesson. Why do people always say us like they got a damn mouse in their pocket? I hear that all the time. Us. Again, we're at Indian Mountain Lake, Pennsylvania for chapter 23, and this is going to be August of 2016, if you're taking notes. Bryan sits in the basement. He's out of drugs, of cash, of friends. Now his mom is on him to go to Bible study with her. She thinks that will fix him. He's gone a couple of times. When he had drugs, he went. A text beeps on his phone. Bryan reads it. Maybe there's something to the Bible stuff after all. This is divine timing. Jeremy Saba has been arrested for DUI and possession of drugs. He's in jail. One man's misfortune is another opportunity. Bryan calls a familiar person. Connie, he says to the woman who picks up, she trusts him wrongly. Bryan, she says, and thanks him for what she assumes is a call of condolence and support. Jeremy's mom tells him that she and Jeremy's dad will visit their son tomorrow at the jail by the courthouse in Broadheadsville. As Bryan hopes the trusting woman shares the time they're planning to go, would Bryan come visit Jeremy right after? Bryan says yes. But as he ends the call, he might have been forming his real plan. Thanks, is she? I am glad the dad called. Me too. I think the dad tried to help BK. No one wants to see their child deteriorating. I think so too. And I also think that, and thank you for the super sticker. That's so nice. I personally think that this wasn't the first thing that Bryan did, right? With the cell phone, right? Stealing the cell phone. He had to have been doing a bunch of stuff before they got to this point. Because your parents, for the most part, parents will give you a lot of chances, right? Like a lot before they call the police on you. Like, I don't know. I think he did some stuff before. Like, I think he was stealing some stuff and his dad just knew. I think his dad put it together. And I think his mom maybe she doesn't want to know anything. I feel like she just wants to live in her bubble. Like, she's in the house. She's stuck in the house. She doesn't come out of the house. Like, Daily Mail's been stalking that house for 2.5 years, and they finally got pictures of the dad outside the yard. Connie later said that Saba's absence from their home gave him the perfect window to get what he needed. He used to live next door, so he knew the house, knew where Connie kept her jewelry and where she left her iPad. Things he could sell to get his next fix, and he knew exactly how to break in through the garage. The next day, he executes the plan perfectly. He was doing crimes before he went to Idaho. You know what I mean? These are breaking and entering. As Connie and Jerry Saba leave the courthouse in Broadheadsville, Connie wonders where Bryan is. Why hasn't he shown up? He sounded so concerned and salacious on the phone. Something Jeremy once said nags at her. Bryan is manipulative. When the Sabas pull up to their house in effort, she sees at once why Bryan didn't come. Someone has been in their home. The door from the garage has been forced open. Her iPad is gone. She doesn't need to wonder who the thief is. She knows. Will she call the police? Her fingers hover over her phone. She thinks about Bryan's mom, Marianne, a teacher who, like Connie, works in the local school district. Marianne has in the past occasionally and uncharacteristically shared some of Bryan's struggles with her. There was his Asperger's syndrome diagnosis. Okay. And later, the drugs. She puts the phone away without calling anyone. She doesn't know any of the specifics, but she intuits that the Kohberger family isn't enough pain right now without Connie Saba adding to their problems. Should have called the freaking police on him. Chapter 24, Effort, Pennsylvania, 2018. I wonder if she regrets that. I would regret that. I would, She hasn't seen him in months. Then she turns and suddenly there he is in her kitchen, standing there unannounced, startling her. Jeremy's mom, Connie, isn't even sure which door he came through. He is just there, tall, well over 6 feet, towering over her, eyes bulging out, and he's thin. She notices really, really thin. Bryan, she says, what are you doing here? Even as she asks the question, she knows the answer because she knows what they teach in rehab. He's come to atone. to make amends. He's come to say he's sorry for stealing from her. I knew it was you, Connie tells him. There's much more Bryan could say, that he started working towards a psychology degree at Northampton Community College, that he's lonely, he misses Jeremy, but he doesn't say any of that. He doesn't get the chance. After he's done apologizing, Connie thanks him, and then with as much kindness as she can muster, Connie asks Bryan to leave and never come back to the Saba home or house. She needed to protect her son from the tall, newly thinned former neighbor. Maybe, as he claims, he doesn't do drugs anymore. But somehow she senses that he's still a threat to their family. Smart woman. Smart woman. Where are we at all the time? Okay, we'll go to like maybe chapter 30. We'll see. Bryan, so Center Valley, Pennsylvania, 2018. Bryan's new classmate in the psychology program at DeSales University call him the ghost. There's something spooky about him. Every day he enters class in the same uniform, a wrinkled black long sleeve button down and tan leather jacket. He's always carrying his silver laptop and Starbucks coffee cup. After class, poof, Bryan's back in his car and gone in the cloud of dust, starting the 45-minute drive along routes 78 and 33 back to Effort for his nighttime security guard job and other job he can get. A lab partner, Josh Ferrero, likes how organized Bryan is with their biology project, testing how caffeine affects the heart rate of water fleas. But the guy's eyes seem unnaturally wide open, and they're constantly darting around while his face is completely still. It's unnerving, Josh thinks. Josh notices that Bryan becomes less aloof and more animated in psychological sleuthing, a class taught by Dr. Catherine Ramsland, a famous criminologist. But it's far to say they all love this particular class because it's fun. Dr. Ramsland takes her students into a building they call the crime scene house. It's like a theater set. The students pretend they're detectives called in to investigate a crime. They're given a scenario like this. The gun was found here. There was brain spatter on the roof, 2 bullet holes here, and a rifle was in Johnny's hands. Then they're asked to theorize as to what happened. Dr. Ramsland teaches her students that killers get tunnel vision when they are committing murder. That's why mistakes get made. Amid the high adrenaline and hyper-focus on the act itself, killers can forget things they otherwise would not. Bryan takes careful notes. He will later write in an essay for his finals that he learned staging is common among killers and that investigators must wear fiber-free clothing to avoid having their DNA contaminate the crime scene. The DeSales students also study criminal profiling. They learned what sort of person chooses what sort of murder weapon. That's I'm interested to know that. What sort of person chooses what sort of murder weapon? I want to know. Let's read it. Typically, Ramsland tells them white men choose knives. Oh. White men choose knives. Okay. They are taught about digital forensics and learn that it's almost impossible to delete one's digital footprint. And they learn about procedure and law. He must have been out for the digital footprint part. He must have been out of school sick. He must have got the flu. And they learn about procedural and law, for example, how the legal process would likely play out if one of them was charged with murder. Not that anyone thinks that would happen. Most of the students expect to go into law enforcement, but Bryan is no exception. He texts his friend Jack that he wants to catch high-profile offenders. Dr. Ramsland emphasizes to these future crime fighters how difficult it is to spot the killers in their midst before they strike. She's an expert on serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and Ed Kemper. She wrote a book based on her years of correspondence with Dennis Rader, the infamous BTK killer, whose moniker stood for his grisly methods, bind, torture, and kill. And I just want to say he gave himself that name. That's weird. Rader, she tells the class, did not kill for 15 years while he was busy raising his own child. How to differentiate between him and us. Dr. Ramsland says there's a new theory arguing that psychopaths aren't the product of social economics and environment alone. Biology has a larger role than people previously thought. The brains of psychopaths are structurally and functionally different from other people's, which means the only way to cure a psychopath is to get him therapy at a very early stage by around age 4 and try to train his brain to change. Bryan listens carefully to this and takes more notes. His classmates can't see what he's writing. Chapter 26, Center Valley, Pennsylvania, 2018. The image on their screens is mesmerizing. A dark-haired 22-year-old man with movie star looks sits behind the wheel of his black BMW, his head tilted to one side, his face is bathed in the reddish glare of a setting California sun. He talks slowly, thoughtfully to the camera as if to hypnotize his viewers with his words. Yeah, that's what he did. Elliot Roger. Tomorrow, he says, is the day of retribution. You forced me to suffer all my life. Now I'll make you all suffer. His name is Elliot Roger. He's from a wealthy family. He flies first class. His dad is a well-known movie director. He appears to be blessed in many ways, but he's still a virgin, and he's furious about it. In the video, one of the series he recorded in May 2014, he delivers a message to all the girls who have rejected him since he hit puberty. Hours later, he embarks on a murderous rampage. In his apartment, he stabs his two roommates, Chin Young, James Hong, and George Chen, and a friend, Wilhelm David Wang. Outside the Alpha Phi sorority house near the campus of UC Santa Barbara, Roger fatally shoots two women, Catherine Cooper and Veronica West, and injures a third, Bianca D. Koch. At a local deli, he shoots and kills another young woman, Christopher Michaels Martinez. Then he drives his sleek black BMW through the crowded streets of nearby Esa Vista. Shooting indiscriminately out the window, he injures 13 more people before crashing his car and committing suicide with a single bullet to the head. Not only did Roger meticulously plan the mass murder and suicide, he also broadcast his scheme in a series of videos on his YouTube channel. If you hit the mute button, you think you are gazing at the next Tom Cruise. But if you unmute, to all the girls that I've desired so much, they've all rejected me and looked down upon me as an inferior man. I hate all of you. I can't wait to give you exactly what you deserve. What a gentleman. In fact, Catherine Ramsland explains to her forensic psychology class, Roger had waited. His ultimate act of vengeance was carefully thought out, the result of years of pent-up anger about his lonely life. He kept a journal outlining his sexual and social frustrations and his various coping mechanisms: video games, late-night drives, trips to the gun range, buying lottery tickets, a new life in Santa Barbara, but none of it gave him sex or girls or the friends he so craved. When he lost his only childhood male friend, he was triggered and began to play the diabolical end. He intended his final act to be so performative that it would capulate him at global fame. The last words he wrote in his journal were, "Finally, I can show the world my true worth." Rogers titled the 137-page manifesto My Twisted World and emailed it to his therapist, who sent it to his mother, who received it minutes before her son began his killing spree. Why didn't the therapist call 911? At the time of Roger's day of retribution, he was seeing multiple therapists. The month before, his parents had reported his troubling mental state to authorities, and the police visited his home. But as Rogers was well aware, the law was narrow and precise about grounds for search warrants. He wrote in his manifesto, "If the police would have searched my room, found all my guns and weapons, I would have been thrown in jail, denied the chance to exact revenge on my enemies. That wasn't the case, but it was so close." Professor Ramsland explains that the police need better training to spot the telltale signs of a potential suicidal mass murderer. One key tool comes from the American Association of Suicidology. Each letter of the acronym is PATHWARM, represents a warning sign. I, ideation. S, substance abuse. P, purposelessness. A, anxiety. T, trapped. H, hopelessness. W, withdrawal. A, anger. R, recklessness. M, mood change. As they learn this, the students don't realize that one of them, Bryan, exhibits every single one of these symptoms. No one person has full visibility on all the parallels between Bryan's life and Roger's. No one knows about the complaints Bryan texts to Jack Bayless about his life on Broke Bachelor Mountain. He describes himself as a good Catholic university student, full homo. No one knows that, like Roger, Bryan is a virgin who hates women. No one knows that Bryan copes with loneliness by immersing himself in video games. Like Roger, he goes for night drives. Like Roger, he visits the gun range. And like Roger, he goes to the local bar and tries to pick up women. Damn, bro. James Patterson's putting you on blast. Chapter 27, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 2019. Instead of heading back to Effort on the highway, Bryan takes the scenic route through the Lehigh Valley. 15 minutes after leaving Center Valley, he's parked across the street from the Seven Sirens Brewing Company, which looks more like a vast Manhattan loft space than a college town bar. The students from nearby Lehigh University come here often. Bryan knows this. That's why he's here. Elliot Rodger wrote that he kept trying to place himself in settings where he could pick up women, but no one noticed him. Bryan must think that surely he'll be noticed. Women must spot his looks, his intelligence, and they must want him. They don't. So typically after a few drinks, Bryan pushes his way into an unwanted conversations with both female bartenders and female patrons. He even asks for their addresses. Women have started complaining to the brewery's owner, Jordan Sherlock, about the creepy guy with the bulging eyes, so he put the kid on his watch list. Tonight, Sherlock isn't going to give Bryan the chance to have more than one beer. Hey, he says, I need you to leave women alone. There have been some complaints. Bryan feigns astonishment. He gives a heck of a performance, almost Broadway level. Sherlock will remember and demonstrate it in the future. I don't know what you're talking about, Bryan says. You have me totally confused. Bryan takes another sip of his beer and another. It's like they were playing a game of chicken. Bryan finishes his beer casually. He solders out. Sherlock doesn't know if his words had any impact, but as the days tick by, he registers something that makes him happy. The kid doesn't come back. Chapter 28, Effort, Pennsylvania, 2021. Bryan is immersed in studying for his master's degree. Even though he's been stuck at home working remotely thanks to COVID, he's doing so well that one of his professors, Michelle Bolger, wants to recommend him for the PhD in criminal justice at Washington State University. She's only ever recommended one other person. Bryan is feeling elated, but soon after March 16th, his phone pings with the news that Jeremy Sabba is dead. The facts are tragically familiar. Sabba was found upstairs in his bedroom. A lethal dose of fentanyl killed him. Extraordinarily, with a small pill, what a small pill can do. Earlier, he had been tinkering with the car in the driveway, then drove off in it to go get some oil, he told his mother. Minutes later, he was home and then dead. The local police took his phone and computer, but they never found the dealer. Bryan is away when Jeremy dies. His parents had wanted to keep the news from him until he returned home because they knew how hard it would hit. That's all that's left for Bryan are memories of Jeremy as high as a kite, making them all walk the yellow brick road, the dotted painted lines on the highway, Jeremy driving his Mazda, Jeremy playing video games, Jeremy working out. The last time Bryan's parents saw Jeremy, he had been doing well, apparently. Mr. and Mrs. Kohberger had run into Jeremy and his parents at the Texas Roadhouse, a steakhouse in Stroudsburg, and it was a good meeting. Bryan's dad told Jeremy he was proud of him for getting clean. Now Bryan pounds the table with his fist. He doesn't phone Jeremy's parents. He won't even attend the memorial service for Jeremy or contribute to the memorial page online. He knows that the tipping point for Elliot Rodger was the loss of his best friend, James Ellis. If only he were still my friend, Rodger had written of James. Bryan gets it. If only Jeremy were still alive. Chapter 29, Pullman, Washington, April 2022. Chief Gary Jenkins, head of the Pullman Police Department, looks at his list of questions and then up at the intern candidates he's Zooming with. The name of the guy staring back at him on the screen is Bryan Kohberger. Jenkins has no idea where he's from or where he's situated for their online meeting. He certainly has no idea that just last month, Kohberger purchased a K-bar knife, sheath, and sharpener on Amazon for unknown purposes. What Chief Jenkins does know is that Kohberger is an incoming graduate student and teaching assistant in the well-regarded criminology department at Washington State University, WSU or Wazoo as it's called in Pullman, so it's on Jenkins' beat. Kohberger has applied for the internship with the Pullman PD. Chief Jenkins can see the guy is hyper-focused, not much else stands out about him, good or bad. But there's something odd about him that makes Jenkins say later he didn't think this guy would be able to build trust in his department. There's something antisocial about him. They chit-chat for 30 minutes. Chief Jenkins winds up giving the internship to someone else, and he doesn't think much about the guy after that, barely remembers his name even. Bryan packs up his gear, his new knife included, and gets in his car for the long road trip to the other side of the country. WSU is in Pullman, Washington, on the border of Idaho, the Pacific Northwest. Elliot Rodger gave himself one last chance before planning his day of retribution. He moved cities, went from LA to Santa Barbara for college. I realized that my miserable, lonely virgin life was was going to continue, and my only hope was to give Santa Barbara a try, Roger wrote. Bryan puts the key in the ignition. One last try. Oh, I guess that's it. One last try. Yeah. Chapter 30. Let's see where we're at. Okay. We'll stop there. Chapter 30. I'm going to write that down. So it's kind of like last night. We read 15 chapters. So we went to 15 last night. I got to fix my thumbnails. Everyone's going to be like, she okay? She all right? Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I interrupt the reading a lot. I don't mean to, but that's what would be going on in my head, right? So I just say it to you guys instead. Like, I really do. I'm just like, so I'm sorry. I will have to stop. Like, I'll be like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. What are you guys doing? Oh, they're sleeping. They're being good girls. That's okay. You can always rewind. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was thinking about today, like, I was trying to look at the weather app. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And there was, it wasn't like where it said the weather. It was like the one underneath of it, but it was pretty, like, it was regular size writing, I think. Like regular size, like kind of like the chat. I would say it was like that size. And I had sunglasses on. I was taking my sunglasses off and putting them on. And I'm like, I can't see that hardly. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I'm a little nervous. So I called the eye doctor, but I was too late. So I'm gonna call her tomorrow and be like, can you get me in? Because I think my mom had cataracts or something. I ain't doing no surgery on this eye. Don't even ask. I'm gonna tell them that. I don't care. But thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, and thanks, says she. I still find it strange BK's first choice of drug is heroin. Yeah, he gets clean and never turns back to that life. Doubt it. People cannot clean themselves up and never relapse. Not all that stuff. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to sell something like that, right? But I could kind of see him doing it. I mean, he got skinny. He did go to college and get all the way up to a PhD. I don't know how he did that. I have Vincent and a key alarm. I have this alarm on my keychain and it's like super loud. And if I press it or I can pull it, like there's a couple different options. And I almost bought a bunch of them and I was going to give them away. Like I was going to do, I'm still thinking about doing this as like a giveaway prize or like a giveaway like gift, but like giving like pepper spray, the keychain that like you can pull it or you can like, click it and it'll send out a really loud alarm. And then like doing like a kit like that, like a safety kit, like, you know what I mean? Like I could think of other little things to put in there too. I think that'd be a good idea. Daughter keeps bad on her side of the bed. See, thank you, Evangelina. I don't ever have anything. Beside my bed is my lamp, a little dish for jewelry. I would be killed. Oh, I do have some sticks. Okay, no, I got me some bamboo. They're just for looks. I got them from Crate and Barrel, but I got 3 of them, and they're hard. I'm good. That's what I'll go for those. Vincent's screwed. He actually sometimes will fall asleep on the couch. So like he's actually in front of me. So if someone did come in to get to me, you'd have to go through him. I mean, he might be sleeping, but oh, you're welcome, Ishi. No problem. I'm going to cover the whole book. True Crime Lullabies is actually who gifted me this book. And I was so stinking excited. So Vincent was like, what'd you order now? Because I've literally have stuff coming from Amazon, just like little things here and there, like, but it's been like every day. And I was like, well, and thanks for the super sticker. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh. And it was like one of those hard boxes. And I was like, I think that's the book. And I opened it and it was the book. So I was like, so I was super excited. And I'm glad we started reading it. So I'm going to actually write something down on a Post-it note. I forgot to put up that 4th episode for you guys today. And I didn't, I literally just totally forgot. I was here. I could have done it. I need to get it up for you. And then we can go over the episodes of the podcast as well. Or the documentary. I'm sorry. Maybe where can I put this? And thanks for sticking with me over here on TikTok and reading with me. I appreciate that. I should read out the comments over here. That way you guys can hear them over there. Let's see. What will I take with me out of here? I'll put it on my for my wireless mic. This little thing, this little box. Man, I look dark. You're welcome, Chosen. Oh, Chosen. Someone reached out to me, email yesterday. Bet you can guess. If you have my email, email me. titaniumbuiltboo@gmail.com. I got something to tell you. I'm like, I got something to tell you. Member for 16 months. Look at that. Thank you, Chosen, for being a member for so long. I appreciate you. I really do. We had 2? They're both from Sweden. So Ladybug was like, do you know each other? I love you, Ladybug. That's like something I would do. I'd be like, do you guys know each other? You're from the United States. Do you have any idea who each other are? I love that. And thank you guys for being here tonight. And thank you for like all the love and attention and appreciation. I appreciate you guys all being here. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. That really helps. I will go through the documents with you guys really quick. I'm just going to like have them up and just tell you what they were. So, that way, if you're coming in from to the last part of the life, but they just had a motion. So the defense is asking for more discovery, I guess. And the prosecutor is like, well, he already kind of confessed and we have a sentencing on June 23rd. And he's like, but there is a rule that he has to, obviously. And he's like, but obviously since there's a rule, I'm going to give or whatever. But I wonder what it is. Like, what do they still have that Anne does not have? Like, that to me is crazy. Like, unless it's just something she's doing, but why would she still be doing something like to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, she doesn't have to do anything for Bryan right now, right? Like anymore, really. She doesn't, I mean, sign on the dotted line, buddy. Oh wait, he already did. And that handwriting expert we watched yesterday, that guy was a trip. He was a trip. Oh, thank you, Magamama. Thank you, Ishi. And thank you again, Ishi. Please hit that thumbs up. And yeah, why she need it? Maybe she's contributing to a book, maybe. Hey, I was like, hey, Mr. Rosebud. 10.5 million people on the rather big service. I love Ladybug though. That's Ladybug. That's me. That's something I would do. I worked. Okay, this is not a funny story, but it is a funny story because it's me, and this is just, I'm genuinely not a bad person at all. Like, I'm just not, and I don't mean any harm in anything that I ever say. But did I? Oh, I didn't get to see it do the thing, but thank you. I made the goal. Oh, thank you guys. Well, you made it for me. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. That's the biggest goal I've ever had. Thank you. I appreciate that. So there was a girl that came to work with me at a boutique. I hired her. And when I hired her in, her name was Sarah. I had to think about that. I don't know why, but I did. Her name was Sarah. Well, Sarah was cool. And she came to me and she said, hey, sometimes I she does her thing. So I'm like, okay, Sarah, you're cool. She's like, I said, do you want, this is my first time working in this situation with people. So I'm just like, would you like me just to not say anything girl, boy related? You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool with me. I can do that. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. And I'm a manager at this time. And it's just something new to me that I've never experienced. So of course, this girl sells her little heart out and she does so good. She gets shouted out of our community or our company, it was a company text thread of all the stores. And the first thing I said, you go, girl. I said, I did it. the one thing that she asked me not to do, I did it. But that's just me. Just like my boyfriend's mom. We went to her house. She's Japanese. I walked in with my shoes on. I know better than that. I don't wear my shoes on in this house. But I was so nervous and I was trying to hurry up and get in the house and, but she wasn't mad at me. I mean, she just pointed at my shoes and looked devastated. And I was wearing Birkenstocks. Even worse. So, yeah, thank you for always supporting the channel, Ishii. And you too, Ladybug. And you too, baby girl. Everyone supports. All of you guys do. Hey, Doodlebug. Feel like I didn't see anybody in the chat because I was reading. My dog will not stop licking herself back there. Mia, I love you. Why are you licking yourself? Go back to sleep. Okay, well, I'm going to jump off here. I think, yeah, well, Dion, okay, so I don't know what will happen the 23rd, but I would be, I'm still like, just like last night I said, I would be impressed if all the parents and everybody just was like, screw you, Bryan. And they didn't even walk into the courthouse and they just said their victims impact statements from the courtroom step. Now I know that's like something huge to take away from somebody. They need some people need that face-to-face interaction, right? To tell that person exactly how they feel. But to me, it would show that he's not special. He's a nobody. Like literally think about it. He goes in and he sits down in because he's going to be in prison clothes. He's going to be in his jail clothes. The judge already said he's not wearing suits and ties anymore. So he's going to sit there, right? And he's just going to be looking around. The courtrooms are empty because all the news people, most of them would be outside with the victims' families, right? Trying to get the story, trying to get what's going on. So he would be looking around like, where's all the victims' families, right? And maybe especially Maddie's family, if that was who his target was. Sad, but I was up at the top. Yeah. See, Cynthia, that's awesome. That's what I would do. I heard them say that in their interview. I would just spend the day, if I was the Chapin family, like the Chapin family, just celebrating their children. Or if you do have to say, like, because I mean, I understand. I've done a victims impact statement before. If you have to do one, do it outside on the courtroom steps. Be like, just get your lawyers out there, just like the Lara Mays did, Maddie's mom. She had her lawyer set up that press conference and she just behind him. But what I mean? But this could be like something where the families speak. If somebody did this to my family, Sheree, I think, Izzy? Oh, that's good, Dion. That's sweet. That's a good memory to make. It is. It's like almost sad though, taking Aubrey to college. Oh, that's sad. He's going to feel some type of way dropping her off. He probably won't leave. He'll probably spend the night with her first couple nights. I mean, I would. Wow, Mama Moon Dust. Let's go over there to their page. We haven't been over there in a while. It's so funny. If I show you guys, like I type it like FA and it goes straight to their page. Okay, July 11th. Oh, this just says, hello, everyone. I wanted to make this post to answer many questions we have been seeing and to clear up any rumors. The Goncalveses family and Laramie family stand united together. We have not wavered for the love we have for each other and the love we have for Kaylee and Maddie. We 100% respect each other's decisions. Our bond is unbreakable. And I love that for them because really they are very different personalities, right? Like Kaylee's mom has said, Maddie's parents would come inside every time when they drop Maddie off. Like they would come right in and Kaylee's parents would be like, oh, her parents are here again. Oh, they're coming inside, and they just kind of made a joke out of it. And so I think that it's sad. They're missing their girl, they're missing their girl. I'd be terrified too. Yeah. I know. I feel so bad for Steve and I feel bad for Christy. I feel bad for all the families. I feel bad for all of them. All of them. I mean, the Chapins, they sit there in the mornings and they cry as the sun comes up, or that they take certain times in the day and they go and probably hide somewhere, cry a little. I mean, that's what you do when you lose someone you love. You have to put one foot in front of the other, whether you like it or not. And you have to try to move on without that person, but you can always keep them close. You can always have them close. They're always in your heart. So that's something Bryan Kohberger can't take. He can't take the memories those kids had together, the memories those kids had with their parents, the impact that they made on their communities compared to, and what they're going to make in the future with all of these scholarships and all of these different foundations that they have. And then think about Bryan Kohberger. Think about his grungy apartment. Think about him, just sitting in his cell now because he had to murder 4 people. He just couldn't handle himself. 30 years old and you're going to be a virgin the rest of your life. Well, a woman virgin anyway, Sucks to be you, Kohberger. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And now I can call you a murderer. And I'll have to say alleged. No more alleged. I've noticed nobody's come in my chat and said allegedly lately. With Bubba, yeah. Send us pictures of when you meet your man. Someone will like him. I wonder if he'll be able to get by with his smarts. You know what I mean? I wonder if some of the inmates that are not there for life, that are leaving, and going back into society, if he could teach them, which he got caught, but if he could teach them almost how to get away with crimes. But I mean, he got caught, so he wasn't that smart. Right? Take all the media away, yeah. And if you take the media away, I think he would feel like a downright loser. I think he would. We don't want him to off himself, though. So I don't know if someone put that in the chat. No, we don't want none of that. We want him to stay alive forever and live through the hell of incarceration at the maximum. What is it? I got it written right here because I have to write it down because there's so many prisons and there's not so many, but there's a few different ones. Idaho Maximum Security Institution. I'll write you, Kohberger. If you want to do an interview, I'll fly out there. Oh, maybe William will go out. Yeah, different story, but some facts. That's what I said, Cynthia. Maybe someone will do that for fame. Yeah, or I think either that or he will try to do something to someone else to try to get fame. There's no way that he's gotten in with anybody, right? He's been in solitary for the last 2.5 years. Now, I know notes can be, fished out of cells and around the corner and down the block. So he could have teamed up with someone inside the jail and been like, can you give me protection? But I don't see anybody in that jail being like, yeah, I'll help you out, bro. These were kids. They were 20 and 21 years old. In my opinion, that's a child. So still, your frontal lobe is not even formed yet. You're an adult, but you're still learning. You're still we're all still learning, but when you were 20, 21, how much different you are now. That's just a whole life. That's like a whole lifetime ago. And I think that people aren't going to like him. These were women too. I wish I wish he would. There was that one guy that I have a bruise or something. He ended up shooting someone because of they killed his daughter. He was going through the airport and he found the guy and he shot him or something. It was back in the 80s. Is he transported now? No, he's still at the I think he's still at the county jail. They'll keep him they'll keep him at the county jail, I'm assuming, until sentencing is over. Oh, I can't even use Stephen Stearns. Yeah, that's sad. But I think since this is so high profile, this like that people aren't going to be happy with this. Like Steve may have just talked so many times on the news to where he got under, maybe he got pulled some heartstrings of these guys in the jail. We don't know because they watch the news in jail. They watch what we watch, right? They don't watch YouTube, so they don't get everything, but they get the gist. They know what a high profile case, what it entails. And someone might just be like, hey, Bryan, man, have you ever watched the movie or the show Wentworth? If you haven't, watch it. It's really good. It's like Orange is the New Black, but way more grungier and way better, in my opinion. There's like 4 or 5 seasons, 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. Me and Vincent, we stopped watching. We need to get back to watching it. I just remembered it actually. But I hope it's like that for him in prison, where they're all killing each other or burning each other with ironing boards and stuff. And there's Jackie. Loved Wentworth. I know when they stopped making that show, I cried. They took out the main person in the first season. I just blew it. But watch it. It's a show that they take out people in that show that you would never think. Main character goes out like the first season. I was like, what? I about fell out of the bed when we were watching that. I remember because we were in his dorm, like his fraternity house, when we watched it. Wow, that's how long ago that was? No way. It could have been, oh my God, it could have been like 10 years, 9 years ago. I'll have to go back to watch that again. I'm going to watch it again. I loved Wentworth. That was like the one show I'll be looking up on the internet. Like, when is it coming out again? But yeah, I mean, that was a good show. So I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate you. I'll be back on tomorrow evening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to jump off of TikTok right now. So if you haven't yet, follow me. Follow me over here on TikTok. Also, I'm over on YouTube at Titanium Built. There's a sign behind me. It says my name. But if you guys want to follow me, subscribe over on YouTube. I post most of my content over there, but I will be posting some more content over here for you guys. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. I just gotta turn this off. Okay. I hate how I have to end it with I don't know. I'm on my phone, so it's weird. Let's see. There's a lot of views. Look at all these people. It says started following me. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. 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 What the hell? There is a book. Oh, but I didn't read. Oh, he was on the case isn't over yet. So, okay. Weird. Okay. Thank you guys for being here, though. I appreciate it. Sipping on the special sauce with Papa, rubbing on PK. Yeah, I know. Good luck, Kohberger. I would have rather been on death row with the 9 people. Well, the 8, you have been with 8 because there's the 1 woman. But crazy. That's crazy how much you just went up on I just went up on TikTok. I guess you just got to go live or put videos out. But thank you guys for being here. I'll call you Ishi whenever I get off of here. And I'll see you guys all in the next live. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys all tomorrow. If I don't see you then, I'll see you the next day. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out.